Do you remember the kid everyone laughed at? This is how her life turned out. Bangalore, June 9, DHNS. It was a day of great happiness and sadness for 6-year-old Deepak Paswan. Happy, because he will finally live a normal and a little sad life, because he has lost his parasitic twin. Patna, India, 7-year-old Deepak Kumar, born with 4 legs and 4 arms in one of India's poorest states, is still too young to understand why pilgrims return home to worship him. Deepak was born from Bilhari village in Bihar with 4 extra limbs protruding from his torso. We took him to a doctor in a private hospital near Patna. However, he said there is no cure, because such children will not live for long, said his father, Vairish, a construction worker. Deepak has 2 older brothers and a younger sister. However, Deepak survived. While many in his village considered him the embodiment of a deity, others believed him to be a demon and threw stones at him. Oddly enough, Deepak has grown limbs over the years and has been referring to them as his little brother. But he became depressed when children started harassing him after he attended a local government school 5 months ago. He stopped going to school and was afraid of strangers. Finally, the situation became either to live openly or to remain within the confines of the 4 walls. That's when Varish decided to show Deepak to a doctor at a government hospital in Patna and get an estimate of the treatment cost. By the way, the media in Patna reported about Deepak's condition. An international media company has also approached Fortis Hospital, Bangalore. The parasitic twin is a non-symmetrical, incompletely formed twin. It puts a lot of pressure on the heart of the dominant baby. In Deepak's case, he weighed an order of magnitude less, said Dr. Ramcharan Thyagarajan, a surgical gastroenterologist and surgeon of the pancreas, liver, and bile ducts, who led the team of surgeons. 15 kilograms of normal weight. Dr. Thyagarajan explained that the extremities, fully developed legs, hands, buttocks and part of the genitals, were hanging from the chest wall and abdomen. When the family was airlifted on June 1, Deepak was meticulously examined. MRI results showed that he shares the intestines with the parasitic twin. On June 4, doctors operated on Deepak and removed the extra limbs. His severe physical disability, which his parents want to treat with surgery, has turned him into a religious symbol for some local Hindus who see a resemblance to the multifaceted god Vishnu. Some people give me money, fruits, and sweets. Sometimes I get flowers from them too, said the boy from Balhari village, 125 kilometers from Patna, the capital of northeastern India's Bihar state. Deepak Kumar, 7, was born with 4 legs and 2 arms growing from his torso from a parasitic twin. Activists say his ordeal is rare, but it highlights a misunderstanding of disability in India, as well as a lack of medical care for those born with defects, particularly in rural areas. His mother, Inda Devi, said during an interview with the family in Patna, "Some people with folded hands bow before him, others touch him like a deity, and many offer money or sweets for divine blessings." She says the survival of her 3rd son has surprised local doctors and village elders in this rural area, who had no hope of surviving after birth. Activists say that many babies born in India with his level of physical disability, he has extra limbs due to a parasitic twin attached to his chest, may have died in childbirth or become one of the many unreported cases of infanticide in India. His father, Vairish Paswan, a lower-class construction worker in his mid-30s, says he is uncomfortable with well-meaning pilgrims who treat Deepak as something religious. "I am not in favor of making money by allowing people to worship it," Paswan said in Patna. "I simply want to have an operation for my son to get rid of the abnormal parts and to have a normal body," he said. There is a ray of hope, but so far nothing has happened. At the invitation of the local state MP Dadan Phulwan, the family recently traveled to Patna for a medical examination at Patna Medical College and Hospital. Paswan was also encouraged by the story of Lakshmi Tatma, a Bihar girl who was born with 4 arms and 4 legs but underwent a successful surgery in the southern city of Bangalore in 2007. She was also treated as a rare child with divine powers in her village before being brought to Sparsh Hospital, which bore the cost of the $50,000 surgery, $54,638. Her remarkable story propelled her to worldwide fame, making her the subject of television documentaries and newspaper articles in countries all over the world. "I learned that just like Deepak, a baby girl was separated with an almost identical parasitic twin. Now I wish the same could happen to my son," Paswan said. Deepak's life is made difficult by the extra weight of his limbs, which means he is unable to play with his 2 healthy brothers, aged 10 to 11, or other children, some of whom are teasing him. He also suffers from pain, irritation, and dermatitis on the fingers and arms of his parasitic twin. Some children are deliberately pressing on a twin and I am crying in pain, Deepak explained. Shanta Sinha, chair of India's National Commission for the Protection of Child Rights, said she was amazed by the idea of Deepak being treated as a religious deity. She said his treatment illustrates the work India still has to do to raise awareness about disability and ensure medical treatment for those in need. The legal framework is coming into effect, but the most important is societal preparedness. Concern and compassion must come, she said. The Mail today, which first raised the issue nationally, printed a large image with a headline that challenges readers to take a look. This stomach, thunder. India has signed the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, which promises equality and rights for people with disabilities, and has passed its own Disability Act. But as is often the case in India, there is a huge gap between the laws that provide rights and protection for people and their implementation. Thomas Chandy, president of the charity Save the Children India, says children born with disabilities like Deepak are often neglected. Their impairment is really high, and unfortunately when there is a disability they don't get the attention and treatment they should have, he said. They also dissected the intestine. 3 days later, Deepak is walking and playing with his younger sister. I am so happy. Once we go back, I will do puja to our family deities. I will also make Deepak put a flag at the temple and make him distribute sweets in the village, said Viresh. There will again be crowd in front of his house, this time to see Deepak in a normal form, the father said. Bihar has made the news recently thanks to its rapid economic growth under Prime Minister Nitish Kumar, who is credited with offering a brighter future to a country that was once synonymous with poverty, corruption, and crime. Bihar is rapidly developing economically. Unfortunately, this kind of thing shows the other side.